Hello guys, my name is JMS111 and welcome to episode 0 of my Rise the Triad 2013 remake walkthrough. Now before you flip out and start typing in the comments or leave this video about why this is not Rise the Triad 2013, you must be forewarned that this is episode 0, seeing as this comes before episode 1, and basically I'm uploading this a day before the game comes out, and the point of this is to sort of give some of you newcomers a contrast for maybe some of you who've never played Rise the Triad or any basically 90s shooters Doom clones for that matter, and to sort of give you new people an idea of what I'm really looking for in this game and really how I'm going to be judging the quality of it. And from what I've seen of the game, I think I'm pretty confident it's going to live up to my expectations, but I should let you guys know that just a little bit of background as to the thinking as to what makes a great 90s shooter what it is, and why that doesn't just have to be in the 90s, why a game like that can be made now. So Rise of the Triad, for those of you who don't know, came about in a time when, you know, Doom and many of those early first-person shooters started to really get popular, and it actually came out, you know, relatively early in the popularity cycle of those games, before even Duke Nukem came out, if I remember correctly. And maybe it was about the time Doom 2 was coming out. And because of these games like Duke Nukem and Doom 2, the game didn't receive quite as much popularity in the long run as those games, for example. And it's really a shame because it is really a fantastic game, and all in all, it just has some really great features to it, not to mention the fact that it was a technical masterpiece at the time. This game actually runs on the Wolfenstein 3D engine, the original one, which was basically the first-person shooter ever created. And the quality of the textures and how they made the game play and the ability to look around in that engine was pretty phenomenal, seeing as it was basically on virtually one of the most basic first-person shooter engines you could possibly have. So, that being said, the game was pretty amazing at the time, and although I played it a couple years after it had come out, it was a big deal for me then. And this, I think I might have played it once Half-Life was already coming out, which really sort of changed things, but even then, I was one of those guys who really I loved Half-Life, and I really loved the old shooters as well. So that's basically sort of the backstory of the time period that this game went through and why it maybe wasn't as remembered quite as, maybe it's not quite as well known as Doom or Duke Nukem. However, the people who do remember it, you know, they remember it was a really fantastic game and just really fun, over-the-top action that, not to say that games that are more serious are no fun and games just have to be focused on fun, but this game really understood what it wanted to be. It wanted to be silly, it wanted to be just pure fun, and that's what it was. And I mean, there was all sorts of features and weapons in the game that reflected this. I mean, yeah, you had God mode, which was not a new thing, but then you had dog mode, where you could transform into a dog and go, and all you'd see was a little white snout in front of the screen, and you'd go and just chomp on all the monsters. You had it might have been in the multiplayer, but it was Shrooms mode, or maybe it was LSD. There was so many different modes, and there was crazy guns, and there was like the mini nuke gun and the fire bomb, and sometimes you'd kill people and their blood would just explode and their eyeballs would show up on your screen splattered against the glass, and it was just like crazy over-the-top fun, and it actually rewarded you. The game rewarded you for being over the top in that it introduced ludicrous gibs, which is when you did something just so nuts, like, I don't know, executing a guy with a firebomb or several guys, just completely over the top, unnecessary. It would give you points for just being nuts, and I thought that was awesome. And much like many 90s shooters, this game not only had lots of over-the-top weapons, but it also was just chock full of secrets and different paths to explore and just immense replayability. Like, you can play through the game one time just to get the feel for it, and then go through it again, try to find all the secrets, but you don't find them, so you go through another time, and then you can try to do speed running, and then you can go back and try to find secret levels, and it was just all sorts of different things. And even in the first level, there's something like over 40 secrets or something, which is nuts just in the first level. So that aside, I think, and I really hope, that these features of the game will be represented in the remake. And from what I've seen, and I've actually, seen a lot of the dev teams, video blogs and work they've done to show how they're trying to represent this at Interceptor Entertainment, and I'm really confident that the game is going to reflect that. Now, I can't comment on whether the game's going to be great at this point, but I think at least it has its heart in the right place, which is always a good point to start at. So, all these things said, there was just so many fun things in the game, so many amazing different, just so much to do, and it was all about just having fun. And I think that's something that has kind of been lost recently with recent games. And not to say that, the games that come out today are not good, or that, the way first-person shooters have gone, and some of the ones that have released and not been so focused in that way aren't as good, or they should just be like this game. But what I do feel is there's a real place for this type of game, a place in all of our hearts, and maybe for some of you who haven't experienced it yet, just keep an open mind, try it out. It's different, but I really think that this game, in this genre as a whole, can really have a place in modern markets. So that's basically all I have to say. Hopefully the game, as we're going to get into it, reflects all the cool weapons, all the cool bosses. From what I've heard, it's all back, and even bigger than before, and I guess that'll yet to be seen. But I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you're watching this after the fact, you'll just go on to the next video and actually see the game for yourself. So by all means, I recommend that you go on to episode 1 and check out the game. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this type of game, if you're excited, and how you think it'll turn out. And hope you guys enjoy the walkthrough. With that, this is JMaster101 signing out. Peace.